Hey everyone, how's it going? Octopus here and welcome back to evercrisis. I'm going to be showing you my floor 29 clear that I did last night on stream. These videos I know are not all here. You guys need 22, 29, 30, probably some stuff in between, but I just haven't had a chance to upload all these videos. But this one, my chat told me to upload because what we did last night was like a lot of tweaking. I don't have Arcanum. I don't have anything crazy. No OB10 water weapons. My setup is like whatever I got, I just kept on enhancing, going further into it until I got that clear, and it was just enough with this. So I'm going to give you my strategy, what I did, how it ended up becoming the way it was, because it took a lot of effort, like these should be, unless you have all the weapons you need. But here's my setup. It's Aerith, Cloud, Zac. Zac is just there for support. Aerith is there for the healing and the defense buffs, and then Cloud is my DPS. So you're probably wondering what's my DPS, because this is a DPS check. If you're not strong enough, then you won't get through this. So Cloud is the reason I passed this, because I have no other Arcanum, nothing. Not even his costume is a mastery. It just adds points towards the attack stance. It's not its own unique mastery or Arcanum. It's just what it is. Maritime's not OB10, so it's missing a ton of damage. It could be 750%. I only have 637 because of 2.8 in branding. So total Cloud is 8,763, 13,000 HP with 195, 175 magic defense. He's running the Zidane sword in the offhand just for the R abilities of 40 attack and that's attack stance. I did purchase his ultimate weapon for this fight, but also for the guild battle we're about to do, because it is a water guild battle and I need water physical, so this goes towards my guild battle. So that's how I justified taking Cloud's weapon. It made a big difference because that did increase my damage, it did increase how much I was doing and how much physical defense I had. So all the branding I have on my weapons is all physical defense as much as I can, or magic defense. That's what I rolled for, so I can survive and build towards more damage instead of worrying about, oh no, am I going to survive? And then try to put survival weapons in there. For my backhand weapons, personal styles got HP with water potency. The gloves have boost attack with water potency, and then automatic is boost attack with attack stance. So the total R abilities are 31 in HP, maxed out boost physical attack, physical defense plus 20. Boost attack is at 55 exactly. Water potency is level 7. Boost ability potency 3. And physical boost ability potency at level 6. Everyone's holding a weapon between Zac and Aerith to boost physical attack by 14%. Zac has one as well, you can see here. And then Aerith has boost magic defense for the entire party. And so does Zac, because they were holding the weapons to make Cloud stronger. The whole idea here is that you need to survive his attacks while also doing enough damage. Sorry about that, it's notifications. All my materia, I believe, is all physical attack up, 8%. Physical attack, 8. And then the last one might be, yeah, physical attack with magic defense. I tried to find that just so I have enough. So, that is my Cloud. Leviathan's not maxed out. He's missing like 13 or 14% potency. I did not finish his nodes. It's way too much farming. The difference here of what I did and didn't do before is that before I had a mastery costume on, this increased my DPS by 15%. By putting on this costume, my increase went from, instead of 15%, an extra 30%, because the jump between that costume and this one, I got more out of the R abilities. So small things like that, because I'm at level 70% right now. I was at level 4 before. So that increased me by 25, sorry. Increased me by 25 instead of the other costume only giving me 15%. Even though it was standalone, I didn't have enough room to put all those weapons to make it maxed out. Water potency was a big factor here as well too. We tried to do it where we had Emily Launcher trying to increase this one, right, to max. But Leviathan doesn't benefit from this. Only your weapon's C ability. So every time I cast Maritime, I was doing more damage with a different build. I took out this and I put in Emily Launcher, and that increased my DPS when I was attacking with Maritime attack over and over. But what ended up happening was when I did Leviathan summon, I was missing 70,000 damage every summon. And there's no way that Maritime was going to catch up, because the difference of increasing that instead of water potency was only 1,000 and something per attack. So I'd have to attack 70 times to make up that difference. So stacking more water potency also gave me the edge of getting in there. So I thought, okay, I can have level 5 water potency, which is 55%, and go ahead and max this out so I go all the way to the 80%. Wasn't good. It didn't add up in the end. So the main thing was more water potency so that Leviathan can do a lot of damage. Now, Zach here is just for bringing down water and physical defense. I did use weapon parts to OB10 this. Yes, actual weapon parts that could have been used for anything. I did it for this and also for the guild battle coming out. So I know there's a lot of OB10 here, but everything else on his build is to basically lower defense. Twinkling Star is going to lower physical defense 3 tiers. The Black Whisker is going to lower physical defense and water resist 3 tiers. So 2 casts of Black Whiskers and 1 cast of Twinkling, and I have physical defense and water resist down 100%. And then I just keep spamming Black Whiskers to make sure that's always there, so Cloud's always spamming. You have to make sure that your summons are strong enough to kill the ads, and you're always targeting the boss, and I had enough damage with this build. His costume doesn't matter. It just brings in this boost ability potency 10 points, because this is lightning arcanum and the bosses are immune to lightning, so that costume doesn't even matter. I'm using Shiva because it's my next best summon, and then I have Nameless here for lightning resist and for HP, and then I've got this for the guild battle to increase everyone's magic defense, and this is to make Cloud stronger because it gives everyone physical attack up. It's those anniversary weapons. You only need 1 at 120. And then same thing with Aerith. Everyone's attack up, physical attack up, magic defense up. And then this is for her personally for have buff duration. Because she's rocking 3,587 heals. She's got magic defense at 186, 208. Same thing with Zach here, 177, 170. But he's got lightning resist, which really helps surviving, and 15,000 HP. His damage is 5,649, but he's spamming Black Whiskers, so it doesn't really matter. Cloud's doing all the damage. So back to Aerith, 13,000 HP, almost 14,000, 186 defense, 208. And then for our abilities, healing's at 39, lightning resist at 12 points, which doesn't do much, but it's there. And then we got buff duration at level 4, which really helps. And then of course everything else you guys saw. So the summon I'm bringing in here for Aerith, I didn't need to use it much, and I think I could have perfected a little bit more. So you could put something like the double summon for ice, so that way your Zac is doing more AoE damage if you're having trouble with bombs, but then you're relying on all 3 of these to get up at the same time, which they probably won't until the end. But having the backup heal really did help. And the costume I'm using is Bahamut costume, only because it does increase everyone's damage and her healing potency and defense, right? So besides that, you could probably use the Monster Hunter one for more buff duration, more healing, whatever you need. I just brought that in because it gives a little bit of damage increase to Cloud as well. So overall is tweaking your survivability, but then making sure this guy has enough survivability, but pure damage. So even if he drops down to like 1 HP, as long as he survives all the attacks at 1 HP, throw everything else into damage. So try to find that sweet spot of mixing materia, branding. Every weapon I ever own is going to be branded with defense, except for maybe the main hand weapon. The C ability would be mixed with defense, if I can do it. If not, everything is physical defense, magic defense up. If you're wondering about my branding, like if you look here, branding, physical defense. Whatever I'm missing is usually what I roll for. So that is the combination of the strategy. It was a lot of back and forth, personal styles back there. Because we want to increase that water potency, I was using other things that had HP and boost attack, but it was better to increase that water potency. So try your best to get all that combination. The next thing you need for this fight is sigils, and the 3rd slot of all these weapons between Black Whiskers and Maritime is a 5 sigil down. So when I cast this sigil on Cloud, because Maritime's 3rd slot is a sigil boost, so that's going to make a big difference because the last part is a 3 sigil phases in a row, and they're really high sigil phases. So I'm going to show you the fight and what I did exactly. All right, I'm going to show you the fight step by step. Pause here and there. It's about 10 minutes, 11 minutes of a fight. So buckle up. It's a long one. So start of the fight is ATB management. We're going to buff with Aerith, and we're going to debuff with Zac. Make sure that you're doing it as long as you can so those buff and debuffs last longer, but also make sure you buff and debuff before Cloud. So you can see I switched to Aerith, Zac, and then back to Cloud to make sure the AI doesn't use his attack until he's fully buffed. So we're blocking the first hit. Plasma Roller. If I didn't talk about Aerith too much, Aerith has physical defense up and magic defense up with both her weapons, and that's how we're going to survive a lot of these hits. But now it's basically making sure that Zac lowers both defenses. So he casts his second Black Whiskers, and then he's going to cast defense down. I screwed up. I didn't push it there. So that's a loss of DPS. But here, I'm letting Aerith keep her healing because I know I will survive the second attack at the HP I have. So I'm making sure the AI doesn't touch this. So that way I can heal again with the Bahamut Rod. And Bahamut Rod gives +1 ATB to everyone when Aerith is hurt. So that helped with DPSing as well because it's kind of like a mini haste if you think about it. So here, Zac is lowering that defense and ads are about to come up. So this is going to be a place where I got to make sure the buff is reapplied. And then I'm spamming only the boss. Before my strategy, and the reason I wasn't making it is because I had to debuff the ads. Cloud had to hit them one time each, and I was losing a lot of DPS. But now that I've made it to where Cloud is strong enough with water potency, and Zac can back up with his Shiva, I just focus the boss, spamming as much as I can here to get my summons up. Every time you get hit, your summon goes up too. So it's nice when they do get hit. And then Aerith is only, again, restoring HP in attack mode because we don't need big heals right now. It's just to give +1 ATB. So you're constantly just going back and forth, making sure. If you're trying to hit the ads with one character, it's possible as well too. But once the 2 summons are up, we double summon, we kill the bombs, and then we focus back on the boss. So this is the majority of the fight, is making sure the boss is always being attacked. And Black Whiskers being able to double debuff and refresh, that buffs those debuffs barely fall off. For Cloud's ultimate weapon skill, I use it later on because this boss's HP or defense is going to get lowered from himself once he repairs, because he is going to restore HP. When that happens, then it's a good time to use the ultimate weapon because it's a little extra damage. Using it now is not going to do much. So here is just surviving. We know that he's going to come with a physical attack and then a magic attack, so make sure you're applying. You can tell which attack is going to happen when you see that symbol up there. That one's magic. If it's a sword, that one's physical. So make sure that you're raising the proper defense. I'm always keeping an eye on Aerith's buffs on the party, making sure attack's up there. Attack comes with magic defense from my kit. Physical defense comes from the heal, from the Bahamut weapon. It's only 2 tiers of physical defense, so if you had someone like Barrett who's doing 3 tiers of physical defense, or Matt, then you had a better time of not raising so much physical defense on your party. But you can see Cloud's getting right to the red zone, totally fine, because he only really a big threat when he goes into these big attacks. Besides that, there's enough time to double heal. And there's always the backup heal of Breath of Earth. When you think like, oh no, I don't have enough, this is the point where I was like, I don't have enough, because I needed to rebuff the party. You can see Cloud doesn't have physical attack up, and Aerith can't give attack up unless she can't give both magic defense and physical attack up if her HP is not 70% or more. So I want to make sure that was there. So I used Breath of Fire. But Breath of Fire, good game by the way. So again, same thing. We're just going in. The key here is making sure that the buffs are on Cloud and Zac's debuffing before Cloud does his attack. So sometimes you have to switch to Cloud, sit on him, and make sure he doesn't use his ATB, because the AI will use it if he's not buffed or the enemy's not debuffed. It doesn't care. So you have to care. You have to make sure you're constantly watching the enemy's debuff and you're watching Cloud's buff. Making sure that he's always attacking at the optimal. Never... I'm going to rewind this just for a second. So over here, Cloud has his tidal wave already, right? You see his ATB going up, but we're waiting for Zac to finish his so he can have his summon. You want to switch to Cloud, and you want to make sure that he doesn't get that attack. Because we summoned, we stopped Cloud from attacking, and the reason is every attack you do when the summon is already available is less summon that you have later, because it doesn't go towards it. So now I switched to Cloud. So you see how Cloud, now that one Cloud attack he just did brought that much more limit gauge. So if you do any attacks that go past the limit gauge because it's full, you just wasted potential DPS because that's one less summon you're most likely going to do in the fight. So make sure that you're min-maxing that as well. I had to make sure that Cloud didn't do attacks while he wasn't buffed, while the enemy wasn't debuffed, and then I had to make sure he didn't do an attack when his limit gauge was full. Those were very important because that added little bit DPS here and there. If the enemy had less water resist or physical defense and I didn't attack, I lost 30,000 damage. You do that a couple times, you're losing big damage, like summon damage, right? So make sure that you're constantly watching that. I know it's a lot, but that's what these fights are. It's a lot of making sure everything's there. So you see how I lost water resist there and Cloud just hit. I think that missed that debuff right at the last second, so I lost DPS there. There's a little DPS I lost here and there. That could have made this fight a little easier, but I still succeeded. So Cloud still survived with 2,242, which is showing that I could have made his defense or HP a little bit lower for more damage, and I would have tweaked that later, but for now, just go in as much as you can, see what you survive, take away some defense, add more attack, see if you survive, and if you do, you found that perfect sweet spot of DPS. So he's getting to the point now where he's going to repair himself. We're only halfway through this fight. It's a long fight. It's more about endurance and everything. It really helps that we're always targeting him and not the bombs. So this is where he gets really strong with his damage. You can see Cloud almost dies, right? I got to make sure I now heal this. So I'm waiting for Cloud. See how this is still in attack mode. And I have a heal, but I'm not using it yet. Because you want to make sure Cloud always attacks while this is at 50%. Never let Cloud attack when this is 25 or in defense mode. Or if you're on Aerith, make sure that the AI casts an attack before you switch to defense mode to heal. Now I switch to defense mode and I'm healing. That canceled the animation as well of the boss, which helped Cloud survive. So use your summons to cancel animation if you think you're about to die. And because the heal did it, I could raise the attack of everyone and then get ready for the summon. So that Breath of Life does come in handy, because you saw that if I try to heal, then I didn't have enough to buff, and then I had to wait for the summon, and Cloud might have died. But now I have the ATB to heal again right after this. So again, make sure, see, I switched back to Cloud, make sure I went to Maritime, make sure I debuffed, then I went to Aerith, switched to defense mode, and I healed. So that's another thing. Don't waste limit break potential. Make sure buff and debuff, and make sure that Cloud never attacks in defense mode. Always make sure he's attacking with that 50% attack stance buff. It's a lot of juggling. It is a lot of juggling. But we're past the point of repair that he just healed, and now because he healed, he's on the overheat, and he has a special debuff on both physical and magical, and this is gold time. This is where you do everything. So because you know right after he repairs is when the sigil phase comes up, make sure you're not letting your characters do any kind of attacks and they have enough ATB to cast all these sigils, right? If you do like, okay, I'm going between all of them, spam, 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 and then you get into here, you're not going to have enough to actually break his sigil phase. Depending on your characters, depending if all three have sigil breaks or not at 5, but you can see how I just made it, even though Zach was missing. So there's a little wiggle room on this one, but not the next 3. Because after this, he's going to do 2 more, and then he's going to do his death move, where no matter what you do, you're going to die, so you have to DPS. So Zach has to make sure he lowers physical defense all the way down. Aerith, her limit break comes up. You use this limit break now, because there's nowhere that you're going to take damage anymore. Now it's just DPSing. So if you wanted to, you could also give Aerith a magic water materia, because she has nothing else to do besides rebuff the party, physical attack up, and then just sit there and do nothing else. So here, if you really want to, you could give your healer water damage from just materia. So you can see Breath of Earth. Oh, it's Breath of Earth, not Breath of Life. Breath of Earth is just there to make the 1.25 multiplier for the summon. So this is here where before my strategy was to hit Zach to hit the side bombs to do enough damage because I had to debuff them, and it didn't give me enough for sigil phase, where summoning as soon as those bombs came up allowed me to break this sigil, because you can see again almost there, and we still need 4. Because I knew that the other characters were going to break the sigil, I buffed the party ahead of time to increase DPS. Excuse me. So, now, there is one more set of bombs. I think I don't even know what happened there. Did you see that? Did you see how Cloud was just sitting there doing nothing? That's weird. Oh, because, no, sorry. I thought it was like glitch or something. Server lag. I'm dealing with server lag and guild battles and it sucks. But because I left Cloud at full ATB for the sigil break, which was a bad idea because it took longer than anticipated. So I could have attacked and it could have went back to full for sigil phase. So I missed one attack there. So don't be like me and try to like save it if it's already full. If it's full, just use it. But don't use it if it's still filling up for the sigil phase. But your priority is to save ATB for the sigil phase. And then once he is broken, that's when you DPS. You DPS as much as you can. Now, that was the last sigil phase. There's only 3 of them. Another set of bombs come out. So this is where you wait, make sure the boss is fully debuffed, and then do your triple summon again because of all the sigil phase. You can't see me, but behind here, I'm like celebrating. I'm going, yeah, this is it. And the chat's going like, don't jinx yourself, man. Don't jinx yourself. But it looks pretty good right now. It looks really, really good. So here you can see he's casting his move. He's about to cast it. You could also summon right before. See how he crossed his arms and did this overcharge? If you summon there, he has to redo that animation again, and that can squeeze a little bit more DPS. So save your summon for when the boss is about to cast that overcharge, and then you can get a little bit more DPS out of there. But you can see with the little mistakes I made here and there, I made it straight to his final phase, and I ended up beating this floor 29 without an Arcanum, without double DPS, huge amount of stuff. I know, like, as a day 1 player, I got a lot of good stuff, but there is some players out there that have way better than me in the water section. Right? My other setups are much better, but my water setup was really bad, and I didn't think I was going to do this, so thanks to my Twitch chat for talking back and forth, juggling ideas, we ended up getting that win, and hopefully something here helps you guys as well. If you have any other strategies, leave it down below, talk about it, help the community. These are really fun, and this is the part of the game that's exciting, because it's not just, oh, I clicked auto battle and I won, right? I love this one. So now, Battle Floor 30, I don't know if I'm going to be able to upload it, because I have a wedding tomorrow. Today is a hangout day with my 2 best friends. I haven't seen them in a long time, so I'm going to go hang around with them. And then Sunday, my parents are coming over. So the next 3 days, I am pretty much not able to record. But if I do beat it, I might just upload it without commentary at the minimum. If I don't upload it, I was super busy or I didn't do it. And it's totally fine. I'm okay with missing out on stuff. But Discord community down below, Twitch link down below where I live stream. If you ever want to ask questions live from me or my audience, everyone there has lots of experience with the game, so they can help you guys out, especially the Discord. Besides all that, thank you so much for watching. Keep on smiling, and I'll smell you later.